Welcome to Faithful Hustle, the podcast for people who are chasing God sized dreams while staying rooted in His purpose. I am Peyton, and I believe faith and ambition were never meant to compete, they were meant to work together. Each week, we'll explore leadership, business, personal growth, and biblical wisdom, along with lessons learned from incredible mentors like Jesse Lee Ward. So grab your favorite drink, open your notebook, and let's grow, lead, and build with purpose. Episode 36, y'all. Guard your mind. This reminds me so much of a phrase that I hear all the time: guard your mind and protect your emotions. And it is 100% true, especially right now. We have to protect our emotions and guard our minds because people are trying to trigger us one way or the other, either with our minds or our hearts. So, your mind. Your life follows the direction of your thoughts. I didn't realize how much mindset affects both my faith and my business, but I've realized that what I believe in me shows up externally. What you allow in mind will eventually show up in your life. Jesse Lee Ward always used to say, "Don't let your thoughts hold you captive. Take charge." And what you allow in your mind, what you allow thought-wise, it is eventually going to show up in your life. So you better make sure that those are good thoughts. So let me ask y'all a couple of questions. What thoughts are shaping your decisions right now? Is it emotion-led thoughts? Are you actually making logical decisions? I want to know. Also, where are you feeding doubt instead of truth? And then, how is your mindset affecting your consistency? There was a point in time a few years ago where I was doing something very consistent every single day, and I thought to myself, no one's really watching, no one cares, it doesn't matter. So over time, I stopped being as consistent. And over time, I started to not do that thing. And then I stopped. And then I got a message from someone about how my consistency was fueling her to do better. And without me being consistent, she started to fall apart. So my mindset of saying it didn't really matter to myself, that affected my consistency. And when I stopped being consistent, my inconsistency affected someone else. So what you think might not be important usually is. So y'all know how I like to give you some takeaways that you can do. So I would love for y'all to replace one negative thought with truth today. Just one. And I want you to limit comparison triggers online. A lot of us have a tendency to look at other people and what they have on social media and compare ourselves. So what we can do to limit those comparison triggers is we can mute those people that make us feel that way. And don't you worry, they're not going to get some sort of notification. You're just muting them for 30 days, I believe it is. And then I would love for you to write this on a post-it note and keep it where you can see it. But write, my mind is aligned with truth, not fear. And that way, when you start to have those thoughts, or if you start to compare yourself, or if you think you don't need to do something because nobody really cares, look at that post-it note that says, my mind is aligned with truth, not fear. So I would love to leave you with this. Guard your mind. It's where your direction is formed at. Guard your mind and protect your emotions. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Faithful Hustle. If today's conversation encouraged you, inspired you, or gave you something to think about, I would love for you to take a screenshot, share it on social media, and tag me so I can celebrate your journey with you. And remember, success God's way looks different from what the world teaches. When you keep Jesus at the center, every act of obedience matters and every faithful step has purpose. Keep trusting Him, keep moving forward, and I'll meet you right back here next week.